Hello everyone and thanks for joining us on HTTV. Today we're going to try something a little bit different. We're going to show you a full 90 of one of the Huddersfield Town Academy games from the current season. Obviously with a complete lack of football at the moment given the ongoing and very important COVID-19 crisis. We're sure we're all starved of football. There's been plenty of first team games flashing around on HTTV and we'd encourage you to look at those. Thank you to Absolute Warehouse Services as ever, by the way, for the sponsorship of HTTV. But something a little bit different, and I know there's a lot of fans who are really interested in what's going on at academy level at the club, particularly after the change we made a couple of seasons ago. So we thought we'd look back through the archives from the season, ask the academy staff what they thought the best team performance was from the season. Not necessarily the most dominant performance in terms of result, but what best showcases the work that is going on at academy level. And we've settled on this game, the one that we're going to bring you today, the full 90 minutes from Huddersfield Town's under-17 win over Blackburn Rovers back in November in the Clarets Cup. The Clarets Cup, for those of you that don't know, is a specific competition created by our friends at Burnley Football Club for under-17 players. And as you may know, Town now run under-17 groups, under-19 groups and an elite development team, which is a little different to most teams at academy level who run under-18s and under-23s. The reason we do that, we echo the European model. We can get good games out there. They run under-17s, under-19s also. But we also think it helps, particularly with the first-year scholars. First-year scholars often team up with the second-year scholars to form under-18 teams. You tend to find, and this has certainly been the case at Huddersfield in the past, that the first-year scholars probably don't get as much football as you'd like. And in line with that, Burnley have created this bespoke under-17 competition. It's the second year that it's been running, that Town have been involved in. And it's a competition only for under-17 players. So it ensures that the first-year scholars at clubs get a good number of games under the belt. Now, it's a little bit different for Town, and you may notice this already if you're well-versed with the academy, but Town actually fielded their under-17 team in the under-18 Youth Alliance League. So the Town team is generally a year younger than a lot of their opponents in the Youth Alliance every Saturday. But we think that the benefits of that and getting good game time in the legs to practice what they've been trying in training or trying to learn in training will pay dividends in the long run. We're now into the final stage of this competition. Before the season got postponed, as we are currently in that situation, Town were due to play a Clarets Cup knockout game after the group stage against Crewe Alexandra. Town qualified from this group. That includes Blackburn Rovers under-17s, who are the team in yellow today. So we're going to take you through one of those group stage games. It's down, as you may recognise, at Canalside Sports Complex, Town's training ground. And just before we get going, a couple of points to notice. It is a one-camera feed. We only have the one cameraman at Academy games, so don't expect a load of cutaways, a load of replays. That's the beauty of YouTube. If you want to see something again, just rewind it. And the other thing to note is that we're going to be overlaying this audio after the event. So we're going to try and sync this up as best we can. But it's a first for us, so please bear with us if it's not 100% right. We'll certainly try and improve it every time we do it. Just running through the Town team first, and hopefully the graphics should now be showing on the screen. Town playing a 4-3-3. We're in the blue and white stripes today with the darker socks. Often you find at academy level it's what kit fits the schedule best, and we do mix and match now and again. So if you're wondering, that's why. 4-3-3, as I said, the team being coached by a name you'll all be very familiar with, John Worthington, the former Town Player of the Year midfielder and captain. Really popular figure, and you might be surprised to see that his team echoes a lot of the qualities that John brought to the shirt as well. But just to run you through, in goal, number 1 is Michael Roxburgh. Number 2, the right back, is Taylor Anakin. Taylor is a little bit of an anomaly in this team in that he is a second-year scholar. You can still play overage players in this competition, and Taylor is the only one for Town on view today. So Taylor Anakin at right back. Next to him is the number 5, Josh Okpolokpo. Number 4, Loic Aina, and number 3, the left back, Luke Daly. We'll take you through more about these individuals as the game goes on as well. We'll just give you the rundown for now. Holding midfielder there, you'll just see as we come onto the screen in a second, when we start in the games in the white boots, is number 6, Luke Billam. He'll line up behind number 10, Miles Bright, and the captain, number 8, Ben Midgley, who is a former Blackburn Rovers player, actually, so this is a big game for Ben. Then the wingers, on the right, wearing the number 7 shirt, is Patrick Jones. On the left, wearing the number 11, is Gully Zunder. And up front is number 9, Brahima Diarra. There's 3 subs for Town today we might see in action. Number 14, Robson Shipley. 15, Andre Edienhan. And 16, Darnell Baxter Allenby. But for now, we'll get you underway. And as you see, Town going to be kicking here from right to left on the screen. we'll get you going there. I'm just going to mute my sound so that it's not playing over the top of it. Just waiting for the referee to blow his whistle. It will be Blackburn in the yellow that are kicking off. Those of you that want to just get your geography right, that is Leeds Road and McDonald's in the background there. So it is the front pitch at PPG Canalside, where I'm sure plenty of fans have seen Town in action over the years. And we're underway now. As I said, we'll take you through the Town players as we go. I must profess I don't know the Blackburn lineup, so forgive me, I'm not going to be able to name the Blackburn first year scholars by name. But you see here, it's an action-packed game you're in for, I will forewarn you, as it's Loic Aina there, the young Frenchman who playing centre-half, who just squeezes his way down the line. Good feet, Loic, and we'll talk about him a lot. He's a name that has played a lot of football in his debut season at the club. Loic is a Frenchman, actually born in Brazzaville of the Congo, grew up in France. But anyway, we'll get back to play here, and here's Taylor Anakin on the right-hand side. I believe that's Ben Midgley that's just drifted over there. The team captain, Pat Jones, now the winger, just turns in field. He's got a chance to shoot here. He just scuffs the shot slightly, but it's fallen to his fellow winger, Gully's under the Swede. Gully's got Luke Daly for support on the left and does use Luke, the left back. Luke steps inside the full-back well. It's a really positive start here from Town. Goes back to Miles Bright. Miles, the attacking midfielder, just calmly rolls it back out to Gully Zunder. Zunder steps inside onto his favoured right, crosses, but it's cleared by the Blackburn defence, who will have a second chance to get it away now. We'll move down that Blackburn left. You'll notice Town playing what we now know as the Terriers' identity. You should recognise a lot of the traits that have made the team successful. Not just the shape, but hopefully the work rate, the endeavour, and the speed of play as well should hopefully be evident today. But Blackburn in possession at the moment as the forward moves into the channel. He's got Loic Aina and Luke Daly for company, and between the two, the Town defenders come away with the ball. Luke Daly there just loses out for a second there as the forward does well to bring it back, tries to run Luke, but Luke is an athletic player and he'll struggle to get past him. But suggestion of a foul on Luke there, but Loic forced to just pull the player back as he tried to enter the penalty area, and it's going to be a free kick to Blackburn in a dangerous position. We mentioned Loic Aina there, the centre-half, we mentioned a couple of times early in play here, and like I said, Loic played junior football in France. It's a slightly different situation in France to in England in the way they set up their junior football, so players often stay with junior clubs for longer before joining a professional setup. So Loic and the number 9 just making his way back into the box there, Brahima Diarra, both joined Town from junior football in France in the summer, both spotted by Lee Bromby and Emir Humphreys. Just waiting for Blackburn to take this free kick. The referee just took his time lining the wall up. Zunder's wise to that short free kick and he forces the man inside. He still gets the shot away, but it's over the bar of Michael Roxburgh. Apparently it takes a touch there, the referee's saying, so it's going to be a corner to Blackburn on the Town left. Roxburgh, the Town keeper, another one of the first year scholars. A lot of the team here, when I say first year scholar, that means you're either 16 or 17 years old and the first of your 2-year scholarship at Huddersfield Town. Michael Roxburgh, the goalkeeper, just giving the instructions there. Michael's from the northeast of England, previously at Hartlepool United, joined Town in the summer. Corner's going to be taken off camera here. It is worth mentioning that the primary reason for having this feed is for tactical analysis, so it's not intended initially to be a broadcast feed. So if you see strange things happening, like the fact that we don't focus on the corner taker, that's with good reason. The analysts are more interested in what's happening in the middle of the box than the Blackburn lad who's kicking the ball. Here's a break down the right now, and good defending there, because that was Pat Jones running down the right, and let me tell you, Pat is not slow. The Wales under-17 international joined Town from Wrexham this season. Just waiting for Taylor Anakin, the right back, to get up with play here. Good speedy break from the Terriers there just to get up the pitch. Taylor there. We've got Ben Midgley, the midfielder, just moving towards the ball there with the navy socks and black boots. Team up there, I think that's Miles Bright that's going to get on this ball. It is actually Brahima Diarra, forgive me, this forward. So Brahima's playing up front today as the number 9. He's typically employed as a number 10, just behind the main striker, but he's shown a good adeptness at playing up front as well when he used to. Pat Jones is trying to break into the box, and Pat's done well there to, I thought he'd won his side a corner, but despite Pat's protestations, the referee and the assistant ref give it as a goal kick to Blackburn Rovers. Blackburn take it quickly and take it short now, the centre-backs bringing it up. You'll notice the shape that Town take up here, just trying to set traps for Blackburn in possession. No Blackburn like to play out from the back, so either force them wide or set some traps in the middle of the pitch and force them to give the ball away. As it is, Blackburn have done quite well on this occasion. I should mention Blackburn, absolutely no slouch as well. Great academy over at Blackburn Rovers, Category 1 in the EPPP setup. Tony Carr's a big figure there in terms of the academy coaching. We'll know Tony from his town playing days and from his time within the town academy as well. So serious academy Blackburn Rovers. So really good test for the young terriers today. It's Brahima Diarra and Luke Daly win the ball back, and that's Luke Billam, former Hull City man. Gives it to Joshua Okpolokpo, who's ex of Ipswich Town. Played down the right hand side again. Nice little turn on the ball there from Pat Jones. Taylor Anakin overlaps on the right hand side. Taylor's checks back. Gives it to Ben Midgley, the left footed midfielder. He's a real source of goals, Ben, but in this occasion he plays the 1-2 with Diarra and then fires a lovely ball out to the left for Luke Daly. Daly crosses, great ball into the danger area, and it's a shame a Town player just couldn't get on the end of that. It's claimed by the Blackburn Rovers goalkeeper in the end there. Good play from Town. Luke Daly, another interesting one. He did make the headlines actually in local press when he joined Town from Port Vale in the summer. He was being touted as being as attracting interest from the likes of Liverpool. I think Southampton, from memory, were one of the clubs that were linked with Luke at that point. Luke joined Town from Port Vale's academy in the summer as a winger. Played most of his football as a winger, but straight away, again, Lee Bromby, Emir Humphreys and John Worthington in tandem said that his skills really suit the left-back role in Town's system, and we know we like to get the full-backs forward. Blackburn just in possession at the moment, and good interception there from Ben Midgley, the skipper. Now here we go, here's Miles Bright. Miles, a lovely attacking midfielder, just slips the ball left to Gully Zunder. Zunder's onside, Zunder drives into the box, tries to square a little ball, I think, back to Bright, but just slightly misplayed, but he's got the ball back for a second attempt, and he gives it back to Midgley. Midgley runs forward. Set piece taker a lot of the time, Ben, as well. Here's Luke Billam. Just chips a lovely ball out to the right hand side for Taylor Anakin. Anakin tries the half volley on the cross, difficult skill to master it, it goes behind, but nice play there from the young terriers as they try to stretch Blackburn left and right to open up some space. See the coaching team down on this near side here. The Blackburn coaching team and physio just in sight here as Blackburn again take the goal kick short. Just see the Town front, the furthest forward players there were Brahima and Bright, and they're just happy just to sit off and let Blackburn have it at this phase, make it congested in the middle of the pitch. There you see Midgley just starting to turn the screw as the midfielder gets it there, and in the end it's chipped forward rather aimlessly in the end by the Blackburn fullback, and sometimes you have to credit the opposing team when a pass goes wrong. They're forced into a bad pass as Okpolokpo fires a nice ball into Pat Jones, who tries to run too and does really well actually, Pat, to squeeze the ball to Miles Bright, who gets it out to Luke Daly again. Luke lovely carry of the ball, but just a slightly heavy touch on that occasion, and in fact it's a free kick to Blackburn. He just pulled the Blackburn man back there as he tried to regain possession for his side. Lovely carrier of the ball, Luke Daly, real long stride where he doesn't really look like he's busting a gut, but he absolutely glides past players. Just a little professional foul there from Miles Bright, just dragged the man back as he tried to get across the pitch. Give me a free kick to Blackburn. Pat Jones just wise to that potential short one there, and Brahima Diarra puts the man under pressure here, and Blackburn get the ball inside, now play it out to their right hand side as Zunder puts the man under pressure. Gully's played a few games at right back this season as well, so he's not averse to defending, but Blackburn managed to keep hold of the ball and work it out to the other side of the pitch. Teams have played each other a few times this season. Town obviously make a load of bespoke games as well as the Youth Alliance programme for the under-17s. They play the Clarets Cup and they play some bespoke friendlies as well to make sure that all the players get the requisite game time needed to develop. Here's Blackburn on the attack now, and Pat, I think it's Taylor Anakin, sticks to his job well there, the right back, and manages to get the ball back for his side. Pat Jones just under a little bit of pressure here. Hooks the ball clear on his left, it's a decent contact and it gets it back into the Blackburn half, but Rovers will retain possession and move it out to the Town right. Zunder, a player we've mentioned, Gully Zunder here on the left hand side, the number 11 shirt, just tracking back at the moment, keep an eye on the full-back. Gully is a Swedish national, joined Town on trial last season and impressed enough to earn himself a 2-year scholarship. Real versatile player, can play on the left wing, the right wing, like I say, he's played right back as well this season, so really interesting player again, really skillful, good on the ball. Hopefully we'll get to see that later on in the game if he wants to get in possession. But Blackburn on the ball at the moment, as they have been for the last few moments, as the centre half steps over halfway. And he absolutely clears out Loic Aina there, but Aina won the ball back and the referee's happy to play on, although I think that's going to be an offside against Ben Midgley. Referee just having a quick look at Loic there off camera. And from the referee's body language, you assume that Loic's got back to his feet now and he's okay. It did look like a fair challenge, to be fair, but it was a heavy one nonetheless, as the centre-half overran the ball. One of the worst sights in football when the centre-back overruns a touch, because you know what's coming, but Loic's made a robust stuff. Only 16, Loic, a very young 16 as well. His birthday's in the summer. Blackburn just trying to find a way through there, but Okpolokpo covers well. Josh is another newcomer to the Town Academy, joined from Ipswich Town in the summer, previously of Cherry Orchard. He's an Irish national, Josh, so another player to look out for there, big centre-back. And Luke Billam, the holding midfielder, swings the ball out nicely to Luke Daly, who can stride onto it. He's got Gully Zunder for company. He might have just played Zunder into trouble there, but great pace from Gully to get past the full-back. Tries to pull it back, but just can't quite find Miles Bright as he tries to get the ball. Ben Midgley, captain, just making the point that Gully could have gone down there and got a free kick. I think it's probably a fair enough shout from the referee. Blackburn have the ball back now, but it's a good scramble back from the Terriers. They've got back behind the ball well. Good ball into the centre circle from the Blackburn man. He tries to reverse the pass into the path of the striker, but good awareness from Michael Roxburgh there. The keeper was quickly off his line, good starting position. Didn't get the clearance totally right, but did the hard work by getting into the right area to snuff out that attack. Well done, Michael. And it's Town throw-in. Jones wins the throw-in just over halfway on the right-hand side here. Taylor Anakin will take again. Zunder and Daly keeping nice width here as the potential for a crossfield pass is on. Pat Jones again takes that ball beautifully and swings the ball out to Daly. Daly again with a chance to stride onto the ball. He's got Zunder on his outside for company. And here is Gully. What can Gully do now? He's gone past the right back once already, but he sensibly opts to go back to Billam on this occasion. Luke's had a first season at Town which had been interrupted by injury. Joined Town as a winger, really. He came from Hull City's academy, as we mentioned, but playing holding midfield here today. He's got a really nice range of passing, Luke. Good tactical intelligence as well. Just slight mistake there from Blackburn on the ball as the number 10 lets it roll out, so Town win the ball back. Here's Aina. Aina's played a lot of games for the elite development team and the under-19s this season. Made a real impression in his first season at Town. Just gives the ball back to Roxburgh on this occasion. Here's Okpolokpo. Strides forward, he's going to look for a pass here. Isn't one on, so he just opts to sensibly go back to Roxburgh. You'll notice Town, like Blackburn, when they're in possession, will try and play out from the back whenever possible. Big part of the Terriers' identity that John Worthington is coaching these lads on all the time. Daly, lovely ball chipped into the path of Ben Midgley. Now, what can Midgley do? Midgley with the hit, and I told you that Ben Midgley was a source of goals, and you can see how much that means to Ben. Clarets Cup is a competitive game for these lads, but Ben obviously an ex-Blackburn player as well, so that one meant a lot from the man from Murfield. Really nice finish as well. Superb little pass into the middle to pick out the run of Midgley from Luke Daly, and that's 1-0 to Huddersfield Town here early on in the first half. So I will tell you, it won't be the last goal you see this afternoon either, so brace yourself for more of that as the time goes on. But really, really nice stuff from Town. Lovely weight on the pass from Luke Daly, really, to find Midgley's run. And once Midgley got in there, forced slightly wide by the defender, but wasn't undeterred and hit a lovely shot across the goalkeeper into the far corner. So it's 1-0 to Town. Ben is one of the top scorers for the U17s this season. He regularly takes penalties, which obviously helps his goal scoring, but as we've seen there, very capable of getting beyond the forward. And there's a good strike on him on that preferred left foot as well. So 1-0 to the Young Terriers here as Blackburn gets back underway. Town's under-17s often use the Youth Alliance games as a method of a live practice of what they've been working on in training. So different ways of defending and attacking. They'll often try them out in the under-18 Youth Alliance games. Might not always be the best way to win the game, but that's not the point of those matches. They're about development. The Clarets Cup is slightly different. As a bespoke under-17 competition, the players are against their peers. So John Worthington, the club, set the academy lads the task of winning these games. Show how you can stitch together everything we've learned in training to actually win a game of football. And good start so far here as Town 1-0 up as Midgley just clips a lovely ball into the right hand side, and here's the lively winger Pat Jones again, and Pat's just been stopped there by the left back, who's done a pretty good job actually, but good determination from Pat. Now, has he been brought down there? Yes, it's a penalty. Really good determination from Pat Jones there. He lost the ball initially, but then he really showed some good strength and determination to get down the right hand side, get into the area, and he drew that foul from the fullback. The Blackburn players aren't happy, but with my Huddersfield Town hat on, I have to say, absolute stonewall penalty. So, as I mentioned earlier, Ben Midgley, the team captain, has already got one in this game, and the former Blackburn Rovers academy player will take this penalty to make it 2-0 to the Young Terriers here, and let's see if he can make it. Normally a reliable source of goals from the penalty spot, Ben. Comes from a family of Town fans. Like I said, he's from Murfield. Town fan himself, so real badge of honour for him to be able to wear the captain's armband. Just waiting for something happening off screen here. I'm not totally sure what's going on, because like you, this is all I can see, but just waiting for the referee to sort something out. I would hazard a guess it's to do with the complaints that were coming from the Blackburn Rovers players over the award of the penalty, but we will see. Or we'll never see, actually. Probably there's the referee, just about to come into shot on the right hand side here, but just waiting for Ben Midgley to line the ball back up again. I don't think we're far away here. Can Midgley make it 2-0? Up he steps. Easily done from Ben Midgley there. Sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. And early doors in this first half here. That's Huddersfield Town 2. Blackburn Rovers 0 in this under-17 Clarets Cup game. Really nice penalty from Ben. Really calm stuff. Never looked flustered by the occasion. Like I say, big deal for Ben this, as he will have played alongside a lot of the opponents in the Blackburn team today during his time at Rovers Academy. But well earned there, and all credit to Pat Jones as well for the real determination, strength and pace that he showed to win that penalty for his side. So 2-0 to Town here. We're early doors here. I don't have a live clock on. I would guess we're around a quarter of an hour in. You will know better than I if you can look at the YouTube timer. But a really good start here. So it's 2-0 to the Young Terriers here in this Clarets Cup game. Blackburn goes back underway. Good press there from Brahima Diarra straight away. Midgley just advancing, but to be fair to the Blackburn man, he does well to get back and get the tackle in, and Midgley just apologising to Diarra for not returning the favour there in terms of possession. Blackburn in a bit back, and they're constantly looking for that clip down the line into the forward, but Aina does enough just to head the ball back in field to Okpolokpo, and that'll give Roxburgh the chance to clear the ball. He safety first from Michael there, and he gets the ball out to the right hand side, so it's going to be a throw into Blackburn just inside Huddersfield Town half. See Miles Bright there, number 10, almost operating as a 10, just pushing forward to make sure that the Blackburn midfielder can't get a freebie on. Good pace there from the Blackburn winger, but the referee has pulled it back for something. I think it will be it might have just gone dead, the ball there. I think it'll be a throw into Town. Yes, it is. Taylor Anakin will take on the far right hand side. He quickly gives it to Okpolokpo. Taking no chances there. He's gone down the line, and it wasn't a terrible ball to try and find the run of Diarra, but just drifts out there just as it enters the Blackburn half, so it'll be a throw into the Rovers. Little crowd in, as you can see on the far side. Town fans generally welcome to the academy games unless otherwise stated on the website. I would mention that at the moment, with the developments just reaching the final stages of the current phase at Canalside Sports Complex, there's no parking for supporters, so hopefully when we're back up and running on the back of this pandemic that we're having to cope with at the moment, that you'll be allowed back down to PPG to get your football fix. You're always welcome down there. Always good for the young lads to have a crowd. As Diarra just puts the centre half under pressure, forces a bad pass, and Diarra tries to find Daly on the 1-2, but just slightly over elaborate on that occasion. Miles Bright just quickly refocuses his teammate and gets Town back on the right set here as we try and win the ball back. And good feet there from the Blackburn man as he plays the ball into the striker. Aina just leans into him, forces him backwards, but Rovers still in possession. Trying to switch play over to their left hand side now. Jones again in the left back, just fighting between each other. More good strength from Pat Jones there, who's not the biggest but shown real strength. Good tackle there from Luke Daly. And Zunder does well too to get back and cover his full back, and Zunder's going to try and run down the line. Ball just wouldn't quite sit for him there, so it just sat up at his chest, and it allowed Blackburn's defender just to get the ball back. Clipped ball into the channel that I think Aina wants the goalkeepers deal with. It just sat up in the turf there a little bit, and Loic having a little physical battle there with the striker, but he does enough to make sure that Roxburgh can get back and claim the ball at the forward's feet. Just back here now, and it's Okpo with the ball down the line towards Diarra again. It just runs dead, unfortunately, there. So Brahima, a really willing runner, really willing worker. You often find that young attacking players don't love the defensive side of the game, but Brahima's a real exception to that rule. He seems to relish winning the ball back out the pitch. You see him, just as I say, that charging after the centre half and forcing an errant pass again as Bilham slides in and tries to get the ball to Jones, but Blackburn do just enough to win the ball back. The centre half just clips the ball down the line. That should be easy enough for Okpo, but the ball drops. Good tackle there from Josh in recovery though. Blackburn still have the ball and they've got decent numbers forward here in attack. That pass is just slightly beyond its intention, but Blackburn keep the ball and just patiently work the ball back. As you can see, Blackburn a good side here, no slouches whatsoever, as you'd expect for any side that Tony Carr's involved with at Category 1. And that's the first save of the match for Roxburgh there, who's forced to push. A bit of a speculative effort from the Blackburn man around the post. It was well placed though, however, just not the requisite power to beat Michael, but Michael takes no chances, just pushes the ball around his left-hand post, so it's going to be a corner, I believe the first of the game to Blackburn Rovers here. In fact, it isn't the first of the game because I talked about the corner taker not being on camera before, so apologies, my mistake. It's certainly the first one for a while. It's slung in towards the back post. The ball is headed clear to the Blackburn sweeper, and the left back tries to get it back in, but Diarra again with that appetite defend, charge it forward. And now here's Loic Aina, I believe, on the attack, and now Diarra's just trying to eased out of it, but look at him continuing to go after the ball. He's really not giving Blackburn's defenders a moment's rest, and Blackburn do well in the end to work the ball clear, but it was a dangerous attack for a second there from Town. And fair play, that's a good ball from the Blackburn player as well, out to the left-hand wing, and now the winger trying to square up Anakin. And he goes on the outside on this occasion, and Taylor does just enough, gets a foot on that cross there. Well done to Taylor, who just deflects the ball over his own crossbar from the Blackburn corner. Really competitive game here, and Town may lead 2-0, but it's certainly not been easy going for the young Terriers, and they've just been the more clinical side so far, and they've defended pretty well when they've needed to as well. So I'm sure John Worthington happy with what I've seen from his team so far as we wait for this Blackburn corner. Just a little debate there as to whether Anakin comes into the box or not, but ball swung in. That'll be easy pickings in the end for Michael Roxburgh. He's going to try and launch a counter-attack here. He thumps a big goal kick towards Pat Jones, but it's just run past the Town man in the end there. Not a bad effort from Michael in the end, to be fair, off the distribution, but it just ran beyond Pat in the end and just made his way over towards the right hand side. He just swaps with Diarra now, who's, as you can see, charging across the pitch to do his defensive work again. Fair play to Brahima. The ball just clips into the channel again, and once again Aina forced to battle with the striker as they try and occupy that space to the side of the centre halves, but Loic does really well again. They're really athletic player, Loic, as well. No slouch on the feet. One of the most aggressive young centre halves you'll see as well, in a good way. I mean, that he really is a front foot defender, likes to find to the challenge. Nice little bit of interplay there. Miles Bright with good feet. Miles a really interesting player. He's one of the few that have come from complete grassroots background, so no real long academy background for Miles in his history. Miles is a player who came from one of the privately owned academies in London. A Londoner by native, Miles, but he's got exceptional feet. And just as I'm talking there, Taylor Anakin's needed to do really well and nick the ball off the feet of the winger. In fact, the referee's saying he played it off the winger to earn a goal kick for his side there, so really good result from Taylor. But yeah, really interesting player Miles. Is in his first year in a kind of professional football setup, and he's had a really good season so far. Certainly ups and downs as you'd expect from all young players, but he's learned a lot, and he's a really intelligent thinker as well. Speaks very well of the game when you speak to him for interview. Roxburgh plays it to Aina again. Loic gives it to Luke Daly. You'll notice the players are under pressure, but they've got no real qualms about giving it to each other, although that wasn't a great pass from Luke Daly there, and the winger has got it back now, and the winger fires the ball towards goal. Roxburgh forced to parry it, and Luke Daly, the fullback, good reactions to get the ball clear, but it's still alive here. Daly again does enough to put the man off on the header, so good covering there for any staple full-back play. You know, we talk about attacking full-backs, and there certainly are attacking full-backs in the Town system, but you've got to be able to defend as well, first and foremost, and really good positional awareness there from Luke. Town just struggling to get on the ball for the last 5 minutes here as Blackburn, a good Blackburn side, just get it and try and push forward with a few set pieces and some good open play, but still 2-0 to the Young Terriers at the moment as we just getting towards the midway point of the first half. That's a decent ball, but Aina just stabs it back into midfield and Midgley's alive to it. Here's Daly. Zunder, who hasn't been on the ball for a little bit, just tries to feint to go on the wing but couldn't get there, and it's a good ball from Daly into Diarra, but just as Brahima tried to turn it into Zunder's path, the centre half does well enough to win the ball back. Into midfield, good strong play from the Blackburn man there. He manages to ride Luke Billam's challenge, and now Blackburn have it still. Might be a shooting opportunity here, and there is, but well deflected by the covering Taylor Anakin, the right back, and it's easy pickings for Roxburgh in the end. Town just sensibly, Roxburgh just taking his time here, just as Town try and get a bit of a spell of possession going again. Blackburn just been on top here for the last 5 minutes. Town defended well though so far. Roxburgh is going to go big with his kick, and he's looking for the head of Pat Jones, but the defender gets there first. To Midgley to head it back towards Jones. A little miscommunication there for a second between Bright and Billam. Bright just tries to get back. It's a play on there as Bright brings his man down, but the Blackburn player just enters the penalty area. In fact, the referee's changed his mind. He's saying there's no real advantage there, so I'm going to give the free kick, and it was Miles Bright that gave it away. Just a bit of a lunging challenge, trying to win the ball back for his side. Understandable. The referee might just have a quick word with him here. I think he's just called Ben Midgley over, the Town captain as well, so you feel like this might be a final warning for Miles here if the referee's calling the captain over for a word as well. That's generally the case. Just have to wait while the referee says his piece here. Blackburn sending the big men forward, the centre halves going into the box. You can see the chap who was challenged just limping into the box there as well. Hopefully he'll be okay to continue. Town holding that typically high line, not going into the penalty area there, so trying to keep the Blackburn players out of the box as long as they can. It was just a word for Miles Bright and the captain Ben Midgley in the end as well there. Good refereeing for the man in charge today. It's a rarity. The defensive ball was too far back. It's not often that you see that every day, but in the right position now, and important defending to do here as Blackburn look to get one back. Big looping high ball into the box, and too high in the end. It's easy pickings for Michael Roxburgh, who with a good throw out to Brahima Diarra to get Town back on the counter attack again. Brahima, lovely strength from Brahima, rise to challenge, and what a pass that is. It's such a shame that he's been given offside there. And he might have scored, but it won't count. I think that was Pat Jones who put the ball away. Constant goal threat, Pat, but lovely play from Brahima Diarra. He's a really exciting player. Got a really low centre of gravity, which gives him great strength to ride challenges. You saw that in evidence there, just as he turned past his man. Great vision to slide roll pass into Pat Jones. It's just a shame Pat had gone a little bit too early in the end, according to the assistant referee. Or it could have been 3 to the Young Terriers. But just till, if you're just joining us, or if you've fast forwarded to this point, as the keeper makes a slight mistake there, it is Huddersfield Town's under-17s 2, Blackburn Rovers 0. As we're in the first half here of this Clarets Cup game that we're bringing to you on HTTV, as the ball is drilled forward, and Okpolokpo will pick up the header from Aina. Roxburgh knocks the ball clear down the right hand side over halfway. Safety first from Michael. You will notice a lot of shouts coming from the bench, particularly the Town bench, I should say. You do occasionally recognise the distinct tones of John Worthington and the other coaches, George Danaher, one of the coaches that works with this group as well, but very kind of developmental style of teaching from the Town coaches. They won't often correct things they see going wrong in play. They will try and let the players figure it out themselves and take some responsibility for what's happening on the pitch. You know, it's more about that development culture than an absolute performance-winning culture all the time here when you're at under 17 level. Often it's more beneficial to let the players read situations and try and figure them out and pitch, decision making and taking responsibility, such important assets as Bright does well there, brings the ball down and plays it out to the right hand side for Taylor Anakin. Pat Jones, the winger, is in the box, so it just goes back for a second to Luke Billam. Here's Ben Midgley, the captain. Midgley, I think, was trying to hook a cross into Osdiar and Zunder there, but didn't quite get it right, so just goes back, and Aina is needed to win the ball back for his side. Does well there, Loic, and Okpolokpo gives it back to the goalkeeper. Here is Loic Aina. Ever smiling presence around the training ground, Loic. Loic and Brahim are both back in France with their families at the moment as we go through this pandemic crisis. It'll be good to see them back at town. A very similar effort there, and there's a bit of a mistake here from the goalkeeper, and as he brought the man down, and he has, and I think, just waiting for the referee to signal, that's going to be another penalty to the Terriers. Just waiting for the ref. The ref isn't really signalling anything as clear as it can be, but I'm pretty sure that'll be a penalty there, and it's rightly so, if so as well. You could see that very similar pass from the left-back Luke Daly that led to the first goal, as he just clipped the ball into like a vacated space. You can see the forwards have moved the centre-halves around, and it's left that space for the midfielders to charge into, and just as it looked like the goalkeeper would get there first, he just misjudged the run of the ball, and that allowed, I believe, Pat Jones, the winger who's on the floor at the moment, just to nick the ball off him, and the goalkeeper had to bring Pat down, so it's going to be a penalty to Huddersfield Town, I think, here it's certainly looking like, and it's going to be Ben Midgley's chance to score a first half hat-trick against his former side here. Just waiting for a bit of treatment here as the believe that's, just trying to see which physio it is out of the physio staff that work with the academy. It's Otis Thorne, just working with Pat there, and thankfully Pat looks like he's going to be okay to continue. You can see Pat's been a constant threat to Blackburn through this half. He's former Wrexham man, he's a Wales under-17 international, had just been re-summoned into the Wales under-17 squad for an upcoming international. It's now been kiboshed with everything going on in the world here at the moment, but it certainly won't be the last chance for Pat to impress on the international stage. He's a lightning fast winger, relatively late comer again to a professional football setup as well. He joined Wrexham back in 2017, previously played for Ballard Town before that in non-league, and taken to it like a duck to water here at Huddersfield Town. So we're back to get underway, and this is Ben Midgley to score his hat-trick, and he makes absolutely no mistake and frustrates the goalkeeper because Ben has sent the keeper the wrong way twice now. He double bluffed the keeper there, he went the other way this time to the one that he did for the last penalty, and as we're still in the first half here and we're around the half-hour mark, that is still Huddersfield Town 3, Blackburn Rovers 0 here in this Clarets Cup game. You're now starting to get a picture of why we brought this game to you today, to see what some of the youngsters are made of, and thank you very much again for joining us for this game. We're trying something new, hopefully you enjoy it. Thank you as ever to our channel sponsors, Absolute Warehouse Services, valued partner to HTTV. We really appreciate what your backing has allowed us to do in terms of some of the equipment we've invested in on this, some of the personnel we have on as well. So thank you very much to the team at Absolute Warehouse Services for their backing. Blackburn underway here now, and probably a bit shell-shocked in truth. They've not played badly per se in points of this game, and about half an hour in they find themselves 3-0 down, which is not what would have been on the cards for the Rovers Academy. Is I think a lovely play there from, I believe it was Okpolokpo, but just stopped there for a second because it looks like there's an injury on the far side. Good refereeing again as the Blackburn physio makes his way across. Few familiar names on the Blackburn coaching team actually, and one of them that works with both the academy and the first team at Blackburn is Damien Johnson, the former Town midfielder who made a real impression during his loan spells at the club. Really nice lad, Jono, and he works with the higher end of the Blackburn academy players as well as the Blackburn first team, try and bridge that gap between the academy and the first team at Ewood Park. Just in terms of the Town coaching staff, I've mentioned the under-17 lead coaches, John Worthington. George Danaher I've mentioned as well, might not be a familiar name to you, but only, I believe, 19 still, George, and he's a former Town scholar actually as well, so you might know George as a player within the academy groups as opposed to a coach. He completed his 2-year scholarship last season took the decision with the club at that point that actually he wants to pursue the coaching route. So George has been working with the academy, particularly under 17s, on a lot of individual specific stuff this season. And again, talking about taking to duck to water, George has looked like he's been a coach for a lot longer than his years allow him to be. So doing a really good job there. Got a lot of physical performance team that work across both age groups as well. It would be Lee Meller that's working with the under 17s in this game. So you noticed Thorne earlier, one of the academy physiotherapy team as well. Troy Tulcher, constant presence for the under 19s EDT and under 17s as well. He's the kit man for the academy. Really good team of people working very hard at academy level. Obviously Lee Bromby's been the academy manager for a good period now. He's stepping up to become head of football operations, working in that transition period already on that job. And Emia Humphreys, who has previously worked in the academy as an analyst and more recently, well, until this point, as head of academy recruitment, is taking over as academy manager come the end of the season, which is great to see. Good club man, Emia. Back underway here now, as thankfully the Blackburn plays okay to continue, and Blackburn in possession, but Zunder shadowing the right back there as he tried to look for a pass forward. Instead it ends up back with the Blackburn goalkeeper. See, at the moment the players have just swapped, so Midgley, the hat-trick hero of the first half, has just pushed into that number 10 position, and Miles Bright intelligently just dropping in to cover for him. But Blackburn have worked that pretty well, just to get a Bright there does really well, and the referee's given a free kick there, possibly a little bit harsh, but good reaction from Miles to not sulk, get back in and do his job. Quickly taken by Blackburn again. It's a good ball into the attacking midfielder here, who is obviously comfortable on the ball. Lovely little play there from the Blackburn team, but good defending there and good goalkeeping from Roxburgh again to keep Blackburn out. Blackburn still in possession though, looking for a way back into this game before half-time. It's the blonde-haired midfielder who's had a good first half. He's been a threat throughout actually, just has to go backwards as Town have got great numbers behind the ball at the moment, all working for each other. It's a sensible ball inside the winger there, just ball is swung in. It's Okpalokpo that, in fact, sorry, forgive me, it's Aina that heads clear. And now here's Pat Jones again trying to get his team up the pitch. You can see Pat's pace and he's forced the Blackburn man to put the ball out of play, and it's such a useful trait to have in a team where your winger can get you up the pitch after a spell of pressure. I think the best proponent of that at first team level I can remember for Town was probably Sean Scannell in the Chris Powell era, where through spells of defending, Sean would be the one to get you back up the pitch after you've been under pressure for a time and win you something, you know, a corner, a free kick, or maybe create a chance. Just waiting for Taylor Anakin to get the ball back here. It's just eluded him for a second. One of the fans helpfully chucking it back to Taylor, the former Barnsley Academy player. Plays it right back hand in holding midfield as well. Blackburn just been forced back here as Diarra's just on the prowl. Nice calm stuff from the Blackburn keeper, rolls it out to the centre half, and the right back in possession again, but he's got Zunder for company. Goes in field, and Billam has tracked his man all the way in there, the holding midfielder for Town. And it's ended up back with the goalkeeper. Good shape from the Terriers there, equally good possession from Blackburn. More of the same there. Town holding a good defensive shape. You can see they're all working hard for each other. That work's been the root of the 3-0 scoreline at the moment for the Young Terriers. Nice stuff from Luke Daly there. Just found himself behind. Oh, he's given a free kick. Just found himself behind play there for a second, and Luke just rushed forward to get the ball. I think the free kick award was incredibly harsh, personally, but there you go. We play on. Blackburn back in possession. Town just trying to keep that defensive line as high as possible while there's pressure on the ball, and you could see Luke Daly just getting a line up there, but Blackburn, the winger now has it. He's just going to run at Anakin for a second. Taylor checks him backwards. It goes back to the full-back. Good patient football from Blackburn here the last couple of minutes, but Town making them work for it. No cheap possession, and again now Zunder puts the right back under pressure and makes him go backwards. Good play from Blackburn there. Nice 1-2. Gets the number 8 free on the edge of the box. Goes down the side, and now Anakin and Okpalokpo have to combine to force the ball behind for a corner to Blackburn. They've had a few corners in this half now. Looks like this one might go short. Yes, it does go short, in fact. And Town alive to it again as Anakin and Luke Billam are out there. The ball still finds its way into the box, and it's a dangerous one, but Aina manages to hook it clear to his compatriot Brahima Diarra. Now Diarra plays it down the line. Look at Pat Jones. What pace from Pat Jones here. As Jones races into the box, he's left the fullback for dead. Can he do something here, Pat? Can he do something? He finishes it, and it's 4-0 to Huddersfield Town. And what a counter-attack goal that was from the pass. Well, the clearance from Aina to start with. The pass from Diarra looked like it only really given Jones a 60-40, maybe 70-30 chance against getting that ball. But then Pat said, leave it to me, I'll do the rest. Sprinted clear of the defender, sprinted into the entire half, Blackburn half, to get into the box. And then from the narrowest of angle, made the finish look really, really easy. And that is Huddersfield Town 4, Blackburn Rovers 0 in this Clarets Cup game. And it hasn't been all one way, like I've said all along, and it won't continue to all be one way, let me tell you. But that is seriously impressive stuff from the young Terriers there on the counter. And John Worthington, the coach, must be absolutely delighted with what he's seen in this first half from the Town side. Really, really impressive stuff. Ben Midgley, the captain, just giving everyone a round of applause there, and well deserved at the moment. That was a really, really impressive goal from Pat. Blackburn will stick to the principal zone. They're in possession once again here, but good defensive work from Miles Bright as Zunder just loses his feet for a second, but he's managed to keep hold of the ball. And here's Luke Billam. Goes safe back to Aina, who picks the pass out to Taylor Anakin on the right. I think Anakin was looking for the run behind from Pat Jones there. Pat came short to the ball, so it's just worked across the defensive line to Roxburgh, and Roxburgh tries to, I think, float that towards Luke Daly, but he just didn't quite get it right. Aina there to pick the ball up on the return. And now here's Brahima Diarra, who had that role to play in the last goal. Clips the ball to Luke Daly, and Daly's tried to find the ball down the line for Zunder. Will Zunder get there? No, the defender just quick enough to get in there in front of Gully on the ball, but another example of the pace that exists in these Town youngsters in the attacking thirds, and that's obviously such a key element when you're a winger or you play in that attacking area, is to have a bit of pace. It causes defences all kind of problems. It's the last quality you want to face as a defender. Luke Daly, who's been quiet for the last few minutes, but always a threat on the left hand side as well, gives it to Midgley, but Blackburn just managed to get a foot in and clear. It's a good play from Blackburn, who managed to free up the space in the middle, and actually Anakin just was banking on the ball going to the right there, and I think that the player's been given offside. Yes, he has received a flag on the right hand side there. He did look offside, albeit we didn't have the best angle to that at the time that the ball was played. Nice play out of defence from Blackburn there though. Town, you can see, doing that high press again, didn't want to let Blackburn out, and Blackburn on that occasion good enough to play through it. That won't stop Town from doing it the next time, and the next time after though. It's part of the identity of this team, and it's good play again from Ben Midgley to try and hound the opposing midfielder into playing the ball backwards. Blackburn on the attack though, and then half a tackle, and that looks like it might be a free kick. Yes, I think it was, and little unlucky there, to be fair. Some of the Blackburn players aren't best pleased with the challenge from Luke Billam. He just ended up the wrong side of the ball, to be honest. He wasn't to start with, and then he ended up having to bring the man down. So it's a free kick to Blackburn, just outside the penalty area here. It's a chance for them to get a goal back before half-time, and if so, you fancy the game is never dead. But at 4-0, it's looking very, very much in the favour of Huddersfield Town here. Ben Midgley, the captain, with the hat-trick so far, the midfielder, and Pat Jones, the winger, with a superb fourth goal to put Town ahead at the moment. But they're going to have to defend this now, and Roxburgh lining his wall up. It's like a four-man wall at the moment, and plenty of figures waiting to chase this ball in as well. The referee just instructed the players that they can't have their arms in the air as the ball comes in here, so handballs won't be forgiven. There's the effort, and it's a good free kick from the Blackburn player, and that's what we talked about there. Really good low, managed to get it over the wall nice and flat, and as a result the pace gave Roxburgh a little chance of saving that down to his right hand side. So it's now Huddersfield Town 4, Blackburn Rovers 1 in this under-17 Clarets Cup game. Little lifeline there for Rovers just going into the half-time interval, and you can see they still believe from the speed at which they picked the ball up and ran back to the centre circle. So Blackburn too good a side at academy level, or any level for that matter, to count out regardless of the scoreline. And Ben Midgley, nice bit of skill, and then really surprises the referee in the route he takes and almost runs into the referee. Here's Zunder. Zunder to Luke Billam. Billam steps onto a preferred left nicely. He's tried to find Zunder. Ball just lets Gully check his run there. It's a shame because if he'd just been able to play it a few seconds earlier, he would have been bursting through on the town left here, but in the end it wasn't quite possible. So Blackburn back in possession here. Town force it wide, and it's out to the centre half, who looks for a ball in field and finds it well. Zunder just puts the full back under pressure again there. Here's Diarra, keeping the defenders honest as always in those orange boots, Brahima. Like any attacker, he loves to score, so he'll be disappointed not to have a goal in a 4-1 scoreline at the moment, but he's more than done his part with the assist for Jones's goal, and the constant pressure is applied from the front for Town. But here's Blackburn on the ball still, and it's a nice pass into the midfielder, who's shadowed well by Billam there, just forces the ball back. Blackburn just struggling to pick through the Town midfield with passes at times, and that's down to the hard work and good defensive shape of the Town midfielders, but on this occasion they managed to get the ball into an attacker, and he just gets the wrong side of Okpolokpo for a second, who's forced to barge him over. Josh arguing his case, but it did look a foul from this side, you have to say, so another free kick to Blackburn, who've seen their adeptness from the dead ball situation and their goal in this game so far. So as we approach the half-time whistle, it's one for Town to be aware of here and just make sure they're alert to the danger as the big men come forward for Blackburn. Quickly taken there, and it's Roxburgh who's the most alert to it. The goalkeeper does really well to pounce on the ball as it was slid into the penalty area. Good alert stuff from Michael. He'll take his time here as we just wind down the clock to half-time. In fact, he gives it to Loic Aina, the centre-half. Blackburn putting the pressure on here, and in fact the attempted clearance from Michael does hit a defender, but then there's a high boot as to try and win the 50-50 ball, Blackburn, and it is a free kick to the Young Terriers. Aina looking to shape to take it, but Roxburgh waves him away here as Town want to get back up the pitch just after being under a spell of pressure. Aina and Okpolokpo just pointing to get the ball forward, and Roxburgh does. Up towards Midgley, the fullback wins it, but Ben's done enough to make sure that Miles Bright can battle for the second ball, and it's a good battle to be fair, and the Blackburn man does well in the end, just pokes the ball past Billam to get clear, and the ball goes out to the left hand side. Good numbers forward here for Blackburn again. They've got men on the overlap, and it's a shot that in the end Roxburgh does well because it bounces just in front of him, but he safe hands there from Michael to smother the ball with several people under, and that's half time here in this game, so we'll join you for the second half shortly. 4-1 to Huddersfield Town in this under-17 Clarets Cup game at half time. Back here then for the second half of this Clarets Cup game. Not much of an interval to bring you during the half time there, but it doesn't look like any changes on the face of it from the Town side. I will bring you up to date on that as and when I do notice any. But it does look like John Worthington's gone with the same 11 for the second half. So Town kicking now left to right in this second period as the left hand side combination. Luke Daly just tries to get down the left there, but it's a throw in to Blackburn Rovers early in this second half. If you are just joining us, if you're splitting this game up, it is a full 90 of course of this Clarets Cup game for the under-17s. It is Huddersfield Town 4, Blackburn Rovers 1 at the half-time interval, and I will tell you again, no massive spoiler, but you're in for some more goals this game as well, so don't please tune out, there's more to come. But Blackburn in possession here as we talk. Town again just keeping the shape. Brahima Diarra leading the line once more for the Terriers as Blackburn switch play to the left hand side, and the number 2 picks up the ball. Looks like a right-footed left back. I'm pretty sure the number 2 played at right back during the first half actually, so it looks like a little switch there from Blackburn. Miles Bright, excellent work there from the midfielder, tenacious midfielder Miles, who's won the ball back for his side. And here's Pat Jones, the ever dangerous winger, just checks back. He's got 3 men for company, but he now goes back down the line again. Just bumped by the defender there, but he does well to win a corner for his side, so got more good play there from Pat early in this second half. Pat, scorer of one of the real highlights of the first half, of course, a fantastic goal on the counter. Ben Midgley, the captain, with the hat-trick, including 2 penalties, as we see the centre-halves, Okpolokpo and Aina, come up for this set-piece. What can Town do from here? Plenty of targets to aim for in the middle there, and it's a big rush towards the near post. It was clearly the idea, but it is slightly underhit and cleared by the man at the front post. Good play there from Taylor Anakin to win the ball back. Blackburn clear at the second attempt, however, and the ball Headed slightly sideways there by Town. It does look like there's an offside there, just as it looked like Blackburn might be on for a break. So a little let off there, as I think it was Taylor Anakin that just miscued his header slightly, but no harm done there for John Worthington's side, and it will be a free kick for the offside given by the assistant referee here. Blackburn just retrieving the ball for Joshua Okpolokpo. Gives it to his centre-back partner, Loic Aina. Aina out to Luke Daly, the left-back. Luke just puts a lovely ball into Luke Dillon, who immediately moves it left to Gully Zunder, and Zunder wins it back at the second attempt. Good reaction there. Big part of what Town do as a team here, that reactive pressure brought to the club by David Wagner and adopted by the academy now. Anakin just under hits the crossing. Now is that another penalty? A good shout there as Midgley went down under the challenge, but looks like the referee, it might have in fact been an offside there just off camera, I'm not quite sure, but there's a free kick to Blackburn nonetheless. But yeah, that reactive pressure is something they always look for in the young players. Once you lose the ball, don't sulk, don't bemoan your own bad luck, react, try and win it back, and we saw a perfect example there from Gully's under the left winger. Lost the ball, just a heavy pass into him from Luke Billam, and his first touch wasn't quite right, but reacted well, won the ball back, and almost won a penalty for his side. So a really good demonstration of what the young Terriers are looking for there. Blackburn back in possession here, as Town just keeping them penned into their own half. Centre half spreads the play out left as Blackburn now get over halfway. Jones for company, and Jones does really well there, and Jones showing good pace, and he might have won the throw in there for his side. No, it's gone the other way. 50-50 call there, to be fair to the assistant referee, but good tenacious stuff from Pat Jones again. Blackburn just throw the ball into the midfield, which work backwards now. Town with good numbers behind the ball here, and they will just move the defensive line up the pitch as Blackburn go backwards. Number 15 is a sub for Blackburn during the half-time interval. There were no changes for the young Terriers. 3 subs today, just as a reminder: Robson Shipley, Darnell Baxter-Alleney, and I'm just trying to remember the third sub off the top of my head, and it's Andre Edion. I had to check the team sheet, but yeah. Andre, a young forward, first year at the club again from grassroots football in London. Robson Shipley, more familiar with the academy system of football. The young forward can play up front or on the wing. Has been a good source of goals this season for the young Terriers. Has previously been on the books at the likes of Middlesbrough and I believe Newcastle as well. Town win the ball back again here, and Zunder's just eased off it there unfairly by the Blackburn man, so it's a free kick to the young Terriers on around the halfway mark. Final sub today, Darnell Baxter-Allen is a very tall first year scholar, plays all the way across midfield, has played up front a little bit for Town as well this season. He's another one that's come from grassroots football in London, has previously been on the books at a few other clubs, I believe QPR, although I stand to be corrected. So I'm sure we might see some of those during the second half period. Just waiting to retrieve the ball here as it's just gone behind the advertising hoarding on the far side here at Canalside Sports Complex. We're back underway, and Luke Daly just eases his man off the ball there, and it's not far off being a foul throw, but he gets away with it, Luke, and Aina spreads the play out to the right to Okpolokpo. He's under pressure here from Blackburn. Good passing field from Josh. A big part of his improved game since he joined Town is the way that Josh can punch passes out of defence, and he just saw a good example of that there. Lovely turn from Jones again, who exchanged a 1-2 with Ben Midgley before dummying his man and checking past him. Blackburn just get the numbers behind the balls. The through pass intended for Zunder was cut out, and Blackburn have it back, but lovely feet there from Pat Jones. Faked the pass and just checked past his man beautifully. He's disappointed there, Pat. The ref's just checking on him because I think he just got a little knock there from the challenge, and that's a good pass, to be fair, to the Blackburn midfielder, who's just got the wrong side of Zunder for a second, the winger, but again Gully sticking to his task well there, and he's helping out his full-back Luke Daly well. So Blackburn forced to go back inside, and Town now recover the shape pretty well here just to get men behind the ball. Blackburn forced backwards again, all the way back to the centre half. Good defensive playing shape there from the young Terriers. Blackburn still in possession there. That's a slightly loose pass, but it's a good play actually from Blackburn. It's a prodded pass with the from the full-back with his preferred right foot, but Roxburgh, the goalkeeper, pounces on the ball. No real threat there in the end from the a bit of an unorthodox cross from the Blackburn man. Town again playing out from the back. Here's Okpolokpo. Tries to hook this one down the line. intended for Diarra. It's won by the centre half, but the seconds will be Town, and here's Jones. Jones with a slightly loose pass there, trying to find Luke Billam, and it lets Blackburn launch a counter, and it's the winger here. Squares up Opolokpo for a second. Josh is a little bit on his own here as Town just recover the shape, but he does force the men back. Good play from the centre back. Now Blackburn patiently go all the way back again. Diarra still working hard up there in attack for the Young Terriers. Tracked his man all the way to the Town left. Zunder again, tenacious stuff, but Blackburn hold on to the ball. Good pressure there as well from Ben Midgley. Blackburn working it quite well though, and it's Opolokpo that's just jumped out of his centre-back position again there, just to shadow the Blackburn man. Sensibly Taylor Anakin and Luke Billam just filled in for him there. And that is a good interception. I believe it is Anakin who made the interception. It's just a slightly loose pass though in the end. It was Pat Jones. No, it was Taylor Anakin. I was right the first time. Taylor and Pat, not dissimilar looking from a distance. Just trying to make the distinction between the boots. Pat in the white boots there. So Town get away with it. Ball goes dead for a goal kick, and Roxburgh has the chance to have a look for a teammate again. He goes to Opolokpo again, who quickly plays the ball out to Anakin, the right back. Anakin steps inside nicely. Has played a bit of a defensive midfield, Taylor Anakin, as well, so he's comfortable in possession. This time, go back to Roxburgh, who plays it out to the left to Loic Aina. He's a right-footed defender, but quite comfortable playing out there on the left-hand side for the Terriers, as Daly plays it down the line to Zunder. Intelligent first-time pass from Zunder to give Daly the ball back. Almost read there by the Blackburn man. It just put Miles Bright off enough to make sure that Blackburn get position, but Miles does fantastically well to just stand tall and firm and win the ball back for his side. Now he tries to play the ball down the right hand side for Pat Jones, but it's intercepted by Blackburn. Town need to react here. There's just a tinge of disappointment there, and Opolokpo's jumped out of position. No free kick given. Blackburn still in possession here as they switch the ball out to the Town left. Strong play from the winger, and Daly's just got a foot in, and Aina clears up the rest. Blackburn do win the second header though, ahead of Jones, and still in possession here in a more dangerous position as the winger just enters the edge of the box. Forced back to the fullback. Clips inside, and it's Opolokpo that puts the man under pressure as he tries to flick, and Luke Billam, the holding midfielder, comes away with the ball, and he's got a few options here. Here's Ben Midgley, shields the ball well under heavy pressure, Ben there, and gets it to Opolokpo, who sees Pat Jones out here on the right and rather shovels the pass out to him, and now Pat with the chance to open those legs again. But good defending on this occasion from the fullback, who advances down the line with Anakin overlapping. Ben Midgley, the captain, has to fill in. Sensible play there from Ben, the midfielder, but still with space here, and it's the number 3 now playing on the wing. Swings it into the box, Aina hooks it clear, and Billam with the second ball, and Bright does well just to nick the ball. And here's Brahima Diarra now, the talented attacker. Brahima, no thoughts of checking back there, he's gone straight at the defenders, and he's played it left sensibly to Gully Zunder, who's up in support. Zunder just slightly errant with his first touch. He's got Luke Daly on the outside, but he chooses to come inside instead. Gully tries to drive into the box to milk that shooting opportunity, couldn't quite do it in the end, and Blackburn clipped the ball clear, but it's not a great clearance. It's straight to Luke Daly. Daly to Midgley, the hat-trick man. What can Ben Midgley do here? Tries to swing the ball out to Jones, but couldn't quite make it, but instead goes safe to Anakin the second time. Here is Jones and Midgley. Midgley's got a man on his back, just pokes a lovely ball into Miles Bright in space in the box, who feeds it out to Anakin. Anakin just looking, considering his next move. Here's Midgley. Midgley clips the ball in towards... Oh, so close. Zunder just got his feet slightly under, just got behind the ball in the end, I think. Town still have it though. It's good play from Bright to force the error, and here's Pat Jones. Good attacking play here, good spell of pressure from the Young Terriers. Midgley plays it out to Jones and Anakin. Those 3 players central to this attacking move here. Miles Bright on the outside, but here's Pat Jones, and here is Bright now. Miles can play out on the right hand side as well. He's played quite a lot of football for Town this season, but playing as a more advanced central midfielder today, which I think is where Town think his long-term future will be. Town forced backwards by Blackburn in the end, but still in possession here as Aina gets the ball. I think he's just tried to clip the ball into a run that never came from Gully Zunder there, unfortunately, but that was a good spell of attacking play from the Young Terriers. Just got a break in play here as it looks like Ben Midgley, the Town captain, is down. So on comes Otis Thorne again, one of the Town medical team at academy level, just to check that the skipper is okay. Didn't see where a challenge may have come, where Ben may have hurt himself there, but chance just to take stock here, as it is still Huddersfield Town under-17s 4, Blackburn Rovers 1 in the under-17 Clarets Cup Organised by Burnley FC down here at Canalside Sports Complex. Looks like Ben's going to be okay maybe, although he's just going off. Referee makes him go off the near side there, those new rules. They're on this season, just checking to see if Ben's going to be able to continue. Obviously we can't quite see the benches down here on the near side where the camera is, so hard to see if a sub's warming up to come on or not, but we shall see in a second. We're not far off the hour mark here on the 57th minute, so still plenty to play for in this game. That might be it for Ben, in fact, and yes it is, and that is the end of the day for Ben Midgley, which means that I believe Robson Shipley has come on, number 14, yes, so Robson coming on. Robson will go up front. It looks like Brahima Diarra has just popped in to the number 10 position, which will mean that Miles Bright goes alongside Luke Billam as one of the two central midfielders. So Robson playing up front. Like I say, Robson's been a good source of goals for the under-17 side this season. Really industrious player. I think Paul Dickoff, Michael Mifsud, kind of busy forwards that never give you a moment's rest. But he's got a real goal threat as well, Robson, like I say. Can play on the wing as well. From the northeast. His father is a regular attendee at these academy games whenever possible. Really young player as a first-year scholar as well. A summer birthday, so he's going to be 16 for the majority, well, all his playing time this season for the Terriers for sure. Won't turn 17 till the summer. There's an error from Blackburn, but the number 2 does pretty well. But there's Anakin, just pokes in and gets the ball to Robson Shipley. Shipley with a lovely reverse pass, trying to find the run of goalies under, but fair play to the centre-back. Just alert enough on that occasion to cut out the danger, but that would have been an unbelievable first touch for Robson Shipley there, had the ball got through to Zunder, because goalie would have surely hit the target from that range. Good spell here from Town. We're not interrupted by the breaking play through Ben Midgley's injury, and on the front foot at the moment. Blackburn just get the ball back off Anakin for a second, and Blackburn man rides the challenge of Diarra well before poking the ball in field to his colleagues. A good attempt here, a good opportunity at a counter, but the Blackburn man just errant touch there allows Luke Daly to get half a challenge in. But Blackburn still in possession here. Nice check back inside from the midfielder, but he has to go backwards with his pass in the end, and Town now recovered the position well. You see there Robson Shipley pressing the forward. Robson will run all day for this team, let me tell you. And ball just gets beyond Anakin there, and Taylor just got a little touch on the ball, I believe. No, in fact he didn't. No, so it's a goal kick to Town. You can see the construction work going on down at PPG Canalside behind Michael Roxburgh's goal. Just about to complete that phase of play. It looks very different behind there than it did in November when this game was played. Flicked forward by Okpolokpo, and it's won by the Blackburn full-back. So Luke Billam does well to win his ball back. Just dragged to the floor there, but the referee's happy to let play on as Aina finds Miles Bright. Miles drives to the left to play. Really nice feet from Miles Bright again there, and he's found Luke Daly. Navigating the traffic well there, and here's Luke. Got Zunder for company. Here's Zunder. Zunder steps inside onto his favoured right and just drives forward there. Nice play from Gully. Gully's got options to his right and he finds one. Here's Pat Jones. Pat just stumbles a little bit, but he drives the ball across the box. Good effort from Pat, and it's half cleared by Blackburn. And good position there from Billam to pick up the second ball. He just underhits his pass in the end, which is a shame, but really nice play there from Diarra. Diarra, I think, may have played that off the Blackburn man. No, it's a throw into Blackburn on this Town right. Fullback just comes to play that right in front of the Blackburn Rovers bench there. See a couple of the Town volunteers who've just gone off camera there on the left hand side. Neil Pickles was one of them for sure. Neil, a constant help to the academy, staff in these academy games, just making sure that spectators are all okay, that the opposition know where they need to be as well. Good pressure there from Brahima Diarra again, just to pop out of shape for a second, but to be fair to Blackburn Rovers, they play it well. And here's a good touch from the striker. Lovely tackle there from Loic Aina, just shuts the door on the forward after he just skipped past Okpolokpo with a good first touch. Roxburgh completes the defensive work, just pumps the ball upfield. Shipley's going to get a free kick given against him there. Robson just knocking into the back of the Blackburn number 4. Free kick to the Rovers just inside the Town half. Town just dropping the defensive line a little bit here as Blackburn enjoy a spell of possession. You will see they try that reactive pressure when they lose the ball. If it isn't possible to win it back in the first instances, just take a defensive shape again. It's good play from Blackburn, but again, lovely play from Miles Bright, I believe there. Miles, who's Showing his defensive qualities as well as his attacking ones today here. Miles just jinks past the player as well. It's a good run from Miles here. Not got much in the way of support, has to check back onto his favoured right. Still in possession here, Miles, and he's going to look to go down the line. Crosses a lovely ball towards Diarra. What can Diarra do here? Steps inside on his left foot. Good save from the goalkeeper there, and that was a lovely effort from Brahima Diarra. He's a right-footed player, but wasted no time in taking that shot on his left foot. Looked like it was going into the far corner at one point, but it's a great one-handed save. Strong hand from the goalkeeper down to his right-hand side. Lovely play from Miles Bright as well, who won the ball back before going the entire Blackburn Rovers half to set that chance up. Corner to Town, nevertheless, and it's the left-footed Luke Daly that's going to take it, the full-back from that far side. Plenty to aim for again in the box here. He drifts the ball and it's going to go towards the goalkeeper. Zunder tried to challenge, but just a little bit drifty in the end there from Luke, and it's a good throw. Blackburn have got a chance here now because they momentarily got 2-on-1. Miles Bright is trying desperately to get back, but the striker advances into the box and hits the ball straight at Michael Roxburgh in the end. It's a little bit of a let-off there from Town. They've just got the shape behind the ball slightly wrong there. 2-on-1 from Blackburn momentarily, but Roxburgh able to field the shot with comfortably in the end. Billam just plays the ball off the Blackburn winger there, and it's back with Roxburgh again. Michael tries to lift the ball towards Pat Jones. Pat doesn't get there, the number 8 does, but Okpolokpo just miscues his touch there, just cannons off his knee, but he's done well to win the second ball, and again, between him and Taylor Anakin, they're fighting hard for the ball there, and it's Taylor who just tries to hook it down the line, but Blackburn keeping this attack alive at the moment. Robson Shipley again, just industrious work from Robson, just forces Blackburn momentarily back. Blackburn shift the ball well from left to right, and here is the right winger. Got Luke Daly for company, and Brahima Diarra. Errant pass there again, and it's that man Miles Bright who's had a really good start to the second half who wins the ball back. Yeah, and Aina just under pressure there, just has to hook the ball forward towards Robson Shipley. Bright wins the second ball, and well done Robson Shipley again. He just gets the better of that 50-50 with the Blackburn man. The Blackburn man seems to come off worse for wear for that, and Zunder carries the ball forward, but fair play. I think the referee's just brought play back there because of the nature of the injury to the Blackburn man, who just came off second best in that 50-50 with Robson Shipley there. No suggestion of a foul play from Robson, but better safe than sorry with this. It may well have been a head injury. See some of the Town players just trying to keep loose there. Taylor Anakin just going through a few stretches. It's going to be a drop ball. I think Blackburn will probably play the ball back to Town here. Let's see where the referee wants it taking from. Did think it was Town in possession there. It looked like Gully Zunder that had the ball at that stage, so we should get the ball back here. And we do. There's Zunder, plays it to Bright. Miles showing all his defensive qualities since popping back into that more orthodox central midfield role due to the injury to Ben Midgley, the hat-trick man. Okpolokpo hooks a good ball forward towards Pat Jones. Sensible, good measured play there from Okpolokpo, and Jones just trying to... Now here's Anakin. Anakin steps in field. Diarra has to pick the ball up. Diarra steps inside on his left. What a turn from Brahima Diarra with an absolutely fantastic goal for the Young Terriers. Real bit of individual skill there. He's enjoyed that one, you can see that. And it all came from that ball down the right hand side. Okpolokpo hooked the ball into Pat Jones to get Town up the pitch. Jones and Anakin between them got up the field, and then when the ball fell to Diarra, he had so much to do still, Brahima. But he was stepped inside onto his left-hand side, and then a lovely little Cruyff turn to roll back onto his right. Stayed calm amongst the numbers of bodies of Blackburn defenders, and just placed a right-footed shot to the goalkeeper's left-hand side. Really, really good individual skill from the exciting Frenchman. That's Huddersfield Town 5, Blackburn Rovers 1 in this under-17 Clarets Cup game. We talk about pick of the goals and Pat Jones scoring a really good individual effort in the first half, but that's got to match it there from Diarra. I said he'd want his goal. He's happy with his defensive work, but he'd want his goal, and he's got it now. Really good stuff from Brahima, the Parisian. Blackburn with it all to do here. They've shown some really good glimpses in this game. Wouldn't count them out yet, but it's 5-1 to the Young Terriers here. Really extraordinary stuff from Town, from John Worthington's side at the moment. He'll be buzzing on the touchline at the standard of performance so far. What can Blackburn do here? They lift the ball down the line towards Okpolokpo. The attacker wins the ball, but Aina reads it well and is forced just to prod the ball behind for a corner to Rovers. Good covering from Loic there. Okpolokpo couldn't win the first ball, so it's important that the rest of the defenders cover the possible flick on from Blackburn, and Lowick did his job there, absolutely. But there's a corner to defend here at Canalside Sports Complex as we enter the last 25 minutes of this Clarets Cup game. So still plenty of time here. Town need to keep on top of the game. Short option, but it does look like Blackburn have clipped this ball into the box, and they do. Goes towards the penalty spot. It's Diarra with the first header, and Jones with the second touch, and I think it was that Polokpo that just cleared the ball up the pitch to Pat Jones. And now here's Pat Jones racing down the left-hand side, and unbelievable pace from Pat, and I think he's brought down there. No, the referee's saying he got the ball, which is, I must say, we are quite far from the play. It certainly didn't look like it, but that was last-ditch stuff from the Blackburn defence, because you saw Pat start to race away from his man. Really impressive pace from Patty and athleticism, because we are getting late in the game now, and it's not the first lung-busting run that Pat's had to put in, but you can see his pace, and that is good play again from the Town attackers. I think it's Gully's under that's won the ball back, and he manages to drive inside before giving it to Bright. Bright just tried to find Diarra, I think, but it's run to Jones nevertheless, and Jones and Anakin team up again on this right-hand side. Here's Luke Billam, plays the ball into Taylor Anakin. He's got Billam for company, and just give a left-footed Billam the ball back, and Luke clips a nice ball to spread the play across the pitch to Aina. Aina will continue that to Luke Daly. Yes, there's the pass, and now Daly manages to open his legs up into space. Look, there's a Blackburn man that's struggling here for a second, so the referee is just going to stop play. Frustrating for the Town players, but you do see more stoppages than play for injuries at academy level. Obviously, you've got to be careful of the youngsters safeguarding, so it does look like that might be the end of play for that young Blackburn man there. He's been sent off to the far side of the pitch. No sign of the physio coming on, so that might be that for that young man. It looks like he might have just pulled his calf or something now. Now, just as we're going, I think Miles Bright has just gone down there. I think he's just got a touch of cramp as he was moving around. So, Gully's under just doing the honours, just stretching Miles out. Might be the physio that comes on for the young terriers, but looks like it might have been waved away there. I'm not quite sure, but it might be that Gully's magic touch is enough for Miles there just to stretch that calf out. Referee just hanging on here as I think we'll wait for the Blackburn change. Will be a drop ball that gives Town possession. After this, as Diarra just comes to the near side as well, possible to get a drink. Brahima, real stocky figure, Brahima, not the tallest. He was certainly shot up since he arrived at Huddersfield Town. When he did come on trial to Town for the first time, he was a really, really small player. Spotted playing in a French game, one of the trips to Paris that Lee Bromby, the academy manager, and Emir Humphreys, the head of academy recruitment, took. They'd heard about Brahima before, so he was a player on the radar of Town, but he impressed enough within 20 minutes of the game for his former junior club to persuade Lee and Emir to bring him over for a trial. Certainly can see why from that goal that he scored just there. Looks like there might be a change here. Miles Bright just making his way over to this near side, Miles, after that bout of cramp. Referee just looking over this side, and yep, that is the end of the day for Miles, and it is Darnell Baxter-Alleney that comes on. The tall number 16 that's just making his way across the pitch there. It will be a like-for-like change, because Darnell does primarily play in the centre of the pitch. It will be Darnell that joins Luke Billam in the centre there. Polokpo just tried to find Pat Jones, just slightly miscued it. The effort is applauded by the coaching staff on this near side. You should see the Town coaching staff there. Lee Mellor on the near side. That's Troy Tulcher, the part of the kit team there, just stood behind them. I believe that is Lee Bromby and Emir Humphreys on the near side as well. So John Worthington must be out of shot underneath camera. Throw into Blackburn. We get underway here. A little bit of a stop-start, a few minutes here in this game. So we reach the 75-minute mark, and Baxter-Allen is straight into it, just forcing the play there, and it's Blackburn that's under pressure there. I think that Polokpo is just to have fouled his man, and he is, so no problem there. You're not that bothered. There's a centre half who giving free kicks away in that area of the pitch. It's a nice little attempt at a clip forward there, but Roxburgh's alert to it, quickly off his line to collect the ball. Just rolls it out to Loic Aina, the centre half. Daly, and you can see Blackburn are really putting the pressure on here, high up the pitch, but Luke Daly just strides past that first challenge. The second one gets him though, and it's Town need to recover here, and it's Shipley and Baxter that are doing the pressing at the moment. The two freshest legs on the pitch for the Young Terriers and substitutes. Still got Andre, Eddie and Hun on the bench if needed. Shipley again just forces the play out to the Blackburn left. Tried to find the winger down the line, but Anakin was wise to that potential run and just toe pokes the ball back to Roxburgh. Roxburgh uses his left foot this time to try and clear, and he's put it up towards Zunder, but here's Darnell Baxter-Elney with his first touch of the ball. Just goes sensibly back to Luke Daly. Really versatile player, Darnell. Has played on the wing quite a bit for the Young Terriers this season as well, as well as up front. Obviously physically gifted for his age. Real newcomer to academy football, though, so he's got plenty to learn, I'm sure, but there's no shame in that. He's got some real talent as well, Darnell. As Diarra wins the ball back, gives it to Anakin. Here's Pat Jones again. Pat staying wide at the moment. Jones to Diarra. Diarra tries to flick the ball into Anakin, who plays an unorthodox 1-2, and Brahima uses his good feet to just get clear of the challenge and give the ball back to Luke Billam. Billam looked for a switch of play, but it wasn't on, so just exchanges passes with Okpolokpo. Here's Diarra, who's moved out to the right-hand side here, Brahima. Goes back to Okpolokpo again. He's got Aina for company, and in fact does give it to his centre-back colleague. Daly's under pressure here, so Loic just has to go back to Michael Roxburgh. Roxburgh spreads it out to Okpolokpo again. Calm stuff from the Young Terriers. Taylor Anakin punches a pass into Diarra. Diarra, he's won the free kick there, just rolled inside. The Blackburn man not happy with that, but there was probably just enough in that to warrant the free kick. Risky area to take that, but Brahima really backs himself and his technical ability to get on the ball. Has a lovely ability to break lines, break the midfield line of the opposition in that central area of the pitch, which is a really valuable attribute at any level. So I'm just happy to keep the ball here. 5-1 up at the moment, as we well know. Here's Aina. Aina spreads the play to the right for Okpolokpo. Josh punches it into Luke Billam, who takes no chances under pressure and knocks it back to Roxburgh. Town was trying to draw Blackburn up the pitch here to create space in behind for the likes of Pat Jones and the other pacey attackers. Okpolokpo just tries to cut the ball into Jones, but Jones not able to win the header. It's a poor pass from Blackburn though, and Anakin. Ball just under his feet for a second, but he does win it back. Good positional stuff from Taylor Anakin again there. And Roxburgh this time pumps the ball forward towards Robson Shipley. Shipley wins the first header and Pat Jones is quickly onto the second. He tried to, I think, pass that to Baxter-Elney, but he's quick enough to get there himself. And Pat just riding the challenge there. I think he's just got hold, probably 6 of one and half a dozen of the other there. Aina's having none of it. Loic in there with the challenge. I said he was a front foot defender, and that was a great example of it. And Loic tries to play the ball down the left-hand side for Zunder, but the full-back just gets in there. Lovely, aggressive play from Loic Aina there. The Blackburn tried to take that free kick quickly, but Loic was well aware of what was going on and just hammered the forward with a fair challenge, won the ball back and set his side on the attack. Just stopping play here again now. There is another wave over on the far side, and I believe it may be a Blackburn Rovers substitution. Might be the lad nearest to the camera here that's coming off. He's got his head down. In fact, it does look like there's a few changes from Blackburn Rovers here, so just wait for those to take place. We are now, by my reckoning, into the final 15 minutes of the game, although I imagine there will be a few minutes added on here because there's been a couple of stoppages. 4 injuries to Ben Midgley and Miles Bright among a couple of Blackburn lads, so it might well be that there are a few minutes to be added here. But it is Huddersfield Town 5, Blackburn Rovers 1 here in this Clarets Cup game so far. When play gets back underway, when Blackburn subs get into position, it will be Luke Daly. Gully Zunder is the player just behind him next to the PPG canal side board. And the ball's thrown in. It's Baxter-Elney who just jinks. Tries to beat the man onto his left, but just overruns it in the end and takes the corner flag out for good measure. So I think the referee is just going to ask Darnell to put the corner flag back in. Probably not a task you get away with asking a first team player to do if you're a ref, but Darnell happy to oblige on this occasion. You just see, I believe that's Andre Eddie and Hun on the back there, just warming up in his blue drill top just behind the goalkeeper there. He's the final sub for Huddersfield Town today. Blackburn get us back underway here, and it's again move left to right, and the ball is a good pass into midfield there. And to be fair to Luke Billam, does enough and just puts enough pressure on the Blackburn man to force the errant touch, and Town have it back in now. And it's on this right hand side again here is Pat Jones, forced to go back to Michael Roxburgh. Roxburgh swings a first time pass out to Loic Aina. Aina out to Luke Daly. Calm stuff from Town here. Luke tries to find Zunder, I think, but it's intercepted by Blackburn man, and Blackburn try and launch a quick counter, but again Okpolokpo is there, but it's just tried to be forced through there, and again Roxburgh, good positional play from Michael, just collapses on the ball, takes his time here, and Okpolokpo gets back into position to receive the throw. See Blackburn really pressing on here, so Josh just calmly goes back to Roxburgh, who puts it out to the left hand side for Aina. Town's having to be patient here as they look for opportunities to get the ball forward, and it's exactly what comes there, and it's Billam who makes the space to receive it from Daly, plays it into Baxter and he gets it back. Zunder just went in field there, just switched with Darnell for a second, but it is Blackburn that win it back here just inside the town half, and Diarra puts them under pressure. There's another man down here on that far side for Blackburn, just cradling one of his legs at the moment. Looks like Blackburn and the referee are happy to play on. Gully Zunder sportingly just checking on his opponent there to make sure he's okay. He's making it back to his feet now. It's nice play from the number 7. Just rolls the challenge of Diarra there for a second as he drives across the pitch. Billam for company. Taylor Annekins just popped inside there to make sure that the man can't get free, but there is threat here from Blackburn Rovers as Okpolokpo really hammers into the challenge and wins the ball back. Referee in a good position to judge that there. Good strong challenge from Josh. Big physical player Josh there, as you can see. He's a tall figure. Wins the ball back well there for the Young Terriers. And Anakin takes no chances, just goes back to Michael Roxburgh. You can see Town just trying to take the sting out of this game here at the moment. Happy to have possession in defensive areas. Town just working the ball, putting the pressure on up the pitch there, so just getting the ball back to the Blackburn goalkeeper. Worked out to the right hand side here. Town still happy to press on relatively highly at the moment as Blackburn have possession. Clipped up the right hand side. It's a good run from the striker to pick up that second ball, and he does really well there. It's a lovely little volleyed pass over the head of Aina to set the man away. Great pace from Loic Aina though, look at that. Wins the ball back, and it isn't even going to go dead because Luke Daly's got back in. What a fantastic challenge from Loic Aina. You can see why he's so highly rated by the Town coaches. Real athleticism, aggression in the tackle. Pat Jones just tries to roll the defender there, and he does do it successfully in the end. He's actually won a free kick. Pat was a bit annoyed he didn't get the advantage there, but no advantage to be had, says the referee. So Diarra just stretching his leg out there. You see we get to the end of the game. It's been an intense game against two good sides here, or between two good sides I should say, so no surprise that some of the players are feeling this physically at the end. There's been some real yards put in by plenty of the players here. Might just be a substitution again here. I can't see exactly what's happening off camera to the right hand side, but hopefully if it pans we'll certainly be able to tell you if it's Andre Edian that comes on. As it is, we're back underway, and Diarra and Anakin exchange passes. Little prod down the line towards Pat Jones. It is Edian that's on, so just looking, it's Gully Zunder, the left winger, that's gone off, and Robson Shipley has gone over to the left hand side. So Andre Edian, a striker, has been involved with Nigeria's under-17 squad in a training camp before. He's from London originally, that's through his heritage, so he's up front, the orthodox striker there. Andre, another one who's a real project. He's almost set a great chance up for Diarra there, but Andre, no real heritage of being in an academy system before, came from private academy in London. Really young player as well in terms of the age group, so he will be 16 for the entirety of this season. So he's had a few injury issues as well, which sometimes isn't a surprise when players come into the full-time training environment for the first time. As Blackburn now with a good chance as the ball's just clipped in, and that is a great goal, to be fair to Blackburn Rovers, who've reduced the arrears to 5-2. Lovely little clip into the path of the striker that just put him half a yard clear of Okpolokpo, and to be fair to the forward, did excellently, took the ball down expertly and then knocked it across Roxburgh, who was given no real chance despite some good positioning. So it's 5-2 here now, and I said this game wasn't over. We've got around 10 minutes left of this game to go, and it's 5-2 to Huddersfield Town, but you can see there Blackburn, plenty of threat, really good academy Blackburn Rovers. So Certainly one that isn't. The Town can't fall asleep here, and Diarra rolls his man lovely, and that's Luke Billen who just drives forward despite a little tug back from the player. Plays it into Pat Jones. Pat with pace to burn still late in this game. Goes on his left-hand side. Steps in field. He's a right-footed player, and Diarra takes the hit, and it's had to be saved by the goalkeeper there. Brahima Diarra looking for a second of the game. Lovely play again from Pat Jones, who shows that he's a right-footed player, but absolutely willing to take that ball on his left-hand side, square it to Diarra. Diarra hit the target, and the goalkeeper forced to tip it over here. So Town not content with the 5-2 scoreline at the moment. Well, looking for that 6th goal. You're going to have a chance here from the corner as Luke Daly plays it short this time. Diarra's gone out there. Here's Daly again. Luke goes on the outside. Good pace from Luke Daly. Tries to cross low on this occasion. The ball's flicked into the air and the goalkeeper takes it at the second attempt. Big, tall presence, the Blackburn goalkeeper does well there under pressure. And it's a good throw out as well. Good distribution, to be fair. And what a tackle that was. I think it's a fair challenge, to be fair, from, I think it's Josh Okpo again, but heavy collision between the two players, that's for sure. And the referee didn't give the free kick immediately. He may have given it afterwards, but it seemed more like the impact between the two players, and the referee assessed the possible injury to the two players that he called the physios on and stopped play. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when we get back underway here, but treatment for both Okpo and the Blackburn man. Let's hope they're both okay to continue. 5-2 here. If you are just joining us, it's well worth a watch this game, so thanks for joining us on HTTV. I will take the opportunity again during this break and play just to say thank you very much to Absolute Warehouse Services, the channel sponsor for HTTV. There's another physio just coming on here. I'm just trying to see who that is. Otis Thorne is the Town physio on. Just checking on Okpo. It looks like there might be a second coming on here. I'm just going to see if that's one of the club doctors or one of the physiotherapy team that works with Otis Thorne. Always paramedics on standby as well at any level of game. So you see there the ambulance personnel just coming on to check that both players are okay. John Worthington's going to take this opportunity just to bring his chargers in and just have a chat with them whilst the injury is seen to here. I said before there's going to be plenty of added time. I certainly think that's been furthered by this stoppage in play. Hopefully both players are okay. Looks like the Blackburn man is up now, but Okpo is still down. Needing extended treatment here. The ambulance personnel just having a close look at Josh as well. So fingers crossed that he is going to be okay. See, that's John Worthington there, just at the bottom of our camera, just having a quick chat with Luke Daly and Taylor Anakin, the two fullbacks. Real contrast, John Worthington. You couldn't find a more tenacious, kind of aggressive player in his fantastic playing career for Huddersfield Town and other clubs like Yeovil Town and Halifax as well. Quite a calm individual off the pitch. He's probably not what you expect. Definitely got that old battling spirit in him, John, but really measured, thoughtful coach. Worked in the as a physiotherapist himself, of course, for Halifax Town upon the end of his playing career, and then Huddersfield Town. Worked as a physio in the academy before signalling his intent to Lee Bromby that he wanted to pursue a career in coaching. That opportunity became available when Mark Hudson stepped up to the first team. Dean Whitehead eventually leaving the club for Shrewsbury Town as well. So we've now got the situation, of course, where two former Town teammates are in charge of the academy sides. Danny Schofield takes the elite development team and the under-19s, and it's John Worthington in charge of this under-17 team. I'm just looking now, and Okpo is up, which is great to see. You could see here it looked like he had an injury to his arm in this game, so he's making his way across the pitch here, and it might well be that Town have to finish this Clarets Cup game with 10 men. We will just see what approach he's taken towards this. Sometimes at academy level you do find that teams are sporting enough to allow subs who have gone off to come back on, and in fact that is the case there. So you can see, just as I say that, and that wasn't a set-up, I promise you, it looks like Gully's under, the number 11, just ran across the bottom of our screen for a second here, so it might well be that Gully comes back on. Let's hope Josh is okay, I can tell you that, because it's a few months down the line now and he's certainly played since. Not quite sure what's happened there with the restart, but we're back on anyway, and it's a strike that hits Luke Daly on the back of the head. and it is going to be a corner to Blackburn. So just a little bit of a rejig needed here for the Young Terriers due to that the player going off. So it does look like Luke Daly has gone into centre half, Luke Billam to left back, and I believe that means Taylor Anakin will play in the centre of midfield, and Gully Zunder, who played on the left wing in the first half, plays right back now. But we will see when the team gets back into a normal shape. As Blackburn still pressing here after that corner, and a low shot from range has to be held by Roxburgh again. I am correct, it does look like Daly here is about to receive the ball. He's now the second centre half. Luke Billam, who was holding midfield, is now at left back. Here is Luke. Gully Zunder, who played left wing, is now playing right back, and Gully has played plenty of right back actually for the under-17 side this season, which means that Taylor Anakin, who played right back, is now playing holding midfield, which again is another space that Taylor has occupied plenty of times for the academy sides. Obviously important to get these players game time in what we think is going to be their first position, but they are developing players, and having the ability to play in certain different positions certainly will help their careers in the long run as well. So nice little idea at the clip forward again from Blackburn there. Roxburgh quick off his line again, gets the clearance a bit wrong on that occasion, but I think the most important element of that is he read the danger and did clear the ball. Town was having to get the feet under the table again here after that rejig. Pat Jones wins the ball back, and then Luke Daly playing centre half now, so Luke will have to curtail his natural thought to advance up the pitch. Eddie Nhon just goes down under that challenge, but no free kick, and Diarra does really well, brings the ball down and gives it back to his fellow Frenchman, Loic Aina. And here's Luke Daly. Luke has actually played centre half a few occasions this season. Played it in an EDT game actually with Aina, so they're not complete strangers to each other, these two. Good win back there from Darnell Baxter-Allen, and this is Robson Shipley who advances down the left-hand side. Robson's only got Andre Eddie in hand for company, and the centre half does well just to keep Andre away from the goalkeeper so that he can collect that cross from Shipley there. But enterprising stuff from the Young Terriers. Still looking for another goal, not satisfied with what they've got at the moment. We are entering the final few minutes of normal time as Baxter-Allen battles for the ball, but there will be plenty added on, you feel, here after the plethora of second half injuries we've had. Good play there from the Blackburn man, and they've got an opportunity here now. He tries to play a slide rule ball, obviously thinking the right winger had made that run, and there's no one there, so Luke Daly happy just to shadow the ball out for a goal kick, and Michael Roxburgh will have to go and mug it for himself behind goal here. 5-2 if you are still keeping track of the score, as Roxburgh goes and picks the ball. Blackburn putting the high press on now. Pat Jones just having a little stretch there as well. Suspect the ball might go to Aina here, or to Luke Daly, both centre halves who've split wide. Aina it is that receives it on this occasion. Loic tries to clip the ball down the right hand side. There is a little bit of wind as well. I don't know if it's picking up on the microphone because I've got the sound muted for the sake of this commentary, but there's a bit of wind. You can see a couple of clearances have just come up in the air. Good foot in there from Aina again, and Zunder just takes a little chance there, gets away with it, and sense of frustration there from the Blackburn man. Blackburn won't enjoy this, obviously. Never nice to get beaten. They've not played badly. On another day it might not be 5-2, but the Young Terriers have been spectacular in some elements of this performance today. Zunder throws the ball to Aina. Loic just squares it across the face of his own goal to Luke Daly, and Luke will bring it out here. Luke Billam was slightly high up the pitch there, so not a great pass on for Luke Daly, and he gives the ball up to Blackburn. And Blackburn, good pass into the box again. Big danger here for Blackburn. It's another top finish from the Blackburn forward, to be fair. So for those that are keeping track, that is now Huddersfield Town 5, Blackburn Rovers 3. A real goal fest down here at Canalside Sports Complex. Town haven't quite got the bearings 100% right since having to make that substitution after Okpolokpo's injury. Blackburn worked the ball into the penalty area, and there's absolutely no mistake. Clinical finish again, much like the second goal from Blackburn Rovers there, but still 5-3 to Young Terriers. They'll be disappointed actually, because they've been so excellent through parts of this game that to concede 2 goals relatively late on in the piece will frustrate John Worthington and the players, I've got no doubt. Nice little play there from Robson Shipley to get the ball to Baxter-Allen, and here's Eddie Nhon. Eddie Nhon rides the challenge nicely and gives it back to Shipley. Shipley clips the ball towards Diarra. Diarra takes it down. Pat Jones picks up the second ball. Pat goes on the outside, tries to drill the ball across the face of goal. Looks like it might just go for a corner. In fact, no, Pat keeps it in the corner. Really backs his own ability here. Pat swings across in. It's cleared at the near post by the head. Here's Diarra, still keeping the ball alive. Diarra fires the cross low into the Blackburn defender. It's going to be a late corner here from the Young Terriers. Be interested to see what they do, as we are now into added time, however much we've got of that. Be interested to see if they do try and keep the ball in the corner, as you might see at first team level, or do look for that 6th goal to restore a 3-goal advantage. But we will, I have to say, the number of people in the box, it does look like it's coming into the box here. So played high towards the back post. Aina looking for an athletic ball, and it's his ball still in play. Yeah, it's Edianhan again there. Andre Edianhan, the young sub, so close to getting his goal there. Aina looked like he'd done the overhead kick. I did wonder if the free kick had been given for a high boot, but it wasn't. And Edianhan, with a good header, and the goalkeeper with a rather nonchalant save in the end, just kind of pushed it away with one left hand as Zunder plays the ball across the pitch. Could have been a 6 there for Town, but not to be in the end. Obviously no signal of how much added time we got here. There's no board at under 17 level, so just have to keep playing. Just going to have a look at how long the video file. I think actually I'm just being told we've got about 2.5 minutes left, so looked like the referee gave about 4 minutes added in the end. Seems fair enough given the stoppages we've had. It could have been more in all fairness. So Blackburn in possession here, looking for a 4th goal that would make it 5-4, and what a interesting scoreline that would be. 5-3 is interesting enough. Pat Jones does well there, covers well and gets back. Slightly unorthodox play there from Anakin, and Daly tries a bit too much there. Blackburn have it back here, and there's a chance here for Blackburn to shoot again. Hits the post. Blackburn Rovers still keep it alive. It's gone across the face of goal, and real pressure here at the end from Blackburn to try and get back in this Clarets Cup game, but Pat Jones it is here who's forces the Blackburn man to poke the ball out. Little altercation between the two, but nothing really doing there, and a few words exchanged between Pat and his counterpart on Rovers' team. 2 number 7s having a slight disagreement there over things, but nothing to worry about. Loic Aina taking the throw in here for some reason. I'm going to say I would have expected Gully Zunder to be taking it, and he is. So Blackburn unhappy at the lack of pace over the throw-in. Gully, a little bit of a foul throw. It wasn't kind to Aina actually. He had to try his best to try and dig that out, and Loic forced to block the ball out of play here. Slightly untidy end to the game, but hopefully you've seen today why we picked this game. Some of the talented young under-17s we have on the books here at Huddersfield Town, and also the style of play. Hopefully it's familiar to you, and that you can see the building blocks and the hallmarks of the Terriers' identity, as we call it, as Luke Daly wins the ball back on the front foot there, and he gives it to Eddie and him. Pretty sure that's Luke on the outside of Andre there, and bear in mind that Luke's currently playing centre-back, so that's an interesting one. So Blackburn win it back now, and yeah, it does look like Taylor Anakin's just sensibly dropped into centre-half here, and Taylor is the nearest man to the ball. That's offside. Good line there, you have to say, from Pat Jones, who was the furthest man back there, the winger. The referee happy for play to continue because Roxburgh had it in any case. So, oh no, we are having the free kick. I was wrong. Michael taking his time. Absolutely no rush here as we're in the final seconds of this Clarets Cup game. Thank you for joining us on HTTV. The footage will end right on the end of the half, and it might end here when Roxburgh is kicking the ball forward. But hope you've enjoyed it. If you're into this and the audience figures are there, we'll certainly show you more academy games through this period where football's cancelled. But thank you for now, and we'll see you again soon.